Okay, so I'm assuming I'm live. Hey everyone, and thank you for anyone who's gonna be tuning in and watching this live right now. I'm so excited. Like this is the third time I'm doing this, so yay for me. I'm taking new steps, celebrating myself. Hopefully someone is gonna be able to join in today. So we'll see, you know. Um, so for anyone who's tuning in, my name is Eva. I call myself an energetic, intuitive healer. I do work with the Akashic records and a powerful method called quantum flow, which is all about rewiring your nervous system. So with the Akashic records, it's all about reconnecting you back to who you actually are and reconnecting you back to your authenticity and releasing all this past fake stories that you've been telling yourself of who you are and you're actually not that, and helping you clear all that negative karma from your blueprint. That's basically me with the soul realignment. And with quantum flow, it's all about rewiring your nervous system. And because a lot of the things that we experience in life, we have a recording of that memory of our past wounds, our past traumas, our past triggers. All of that is recorded within your nervous system, which is directly connected to your unconscious mind. And you find that how you show up in the world, how you interact with people, the things you attract, are all based on that version of you. So if at all you still have memories of maybe childhood trauma or whatever kind of trauma you've experienced in your past or emotional wounds, you'll find the way you show up, the way you talk to people, the minute someone triggers that, even for a moment, it could be the smallest thing, could be just someone reminding you that you didn't do something, and that triggers your not enoughness that you might have embodied when you were a child, based, with the caregivers that you had in your lifetime at that point, and you find yourself having an overblown reaction because that person just touched that wound. So what most people do is that they handle the mindset, which works actually. It does work when you rewiring your mindset with all these techniques, meditation, NLP, you name it. It does work. But you find that if you're not using your body and rewiring your body as well, then that process of healing takes so much longer than it's supposed to be. And quantum flow just kind of like accelerates that healing process. So I'm not gonna go too much into it. I've shared a lot about this in all my previous videos. If you want a chance to work with me, you can check out my about section and just get my links from there. So yay. So today, my title for today is Breaking Free from the Shackles of Shame and Guilt. And I'm thinking about this today because it's something that I know too deeply well, coming from an entire lifetime of me making so many mistakes before I finally started working on myself and blaming so many people for the pain or whatever that I had gone through, and also blaming myself for letting myself go through that. And my entire journey, my healing journey, my major focus was mostly dealing with forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others for the pain that had been done. And why I want to talk about this today is because, in the last live, I shared about how my journey on how I actually got inspired to do the YouTube live. And part of that story was also touching on how I recently launched my A2 Quantum Flow course, right? Which is working one-on-one with you to help you rewire your nervous system by giving you certain activations that you can tap into for the rest of your life to really embody the healing journey and accelerate your healing process, right? So I finally launched in the last weekend, and this is something that I've been working on for more than a year. Coming up with the landing page, the coming up with the email campaign, coming up with the ad copy, all of that. It's been a process, and when I tell you, like, it's working through that and working through also the internal struggles of feeling like, having the imposter syndrome and that I'm not good enough to do this, even though it's something I've done with one-off clients, right? So it's not something that was foreign to me, but I still didn't have that belief in myself that I could actually do that. And that basically led to me procrastinating, self-sabotage, distracting myself from actually doing the work. So literally, so many things that I've actually been able to do this year, and more so in the last month, are things I should have done 2 years ago, 1 year ago, because I already had the tools to get me to the next level. But internally, I had to rewire a lot of limiting beliefs, which is where quantum flow really helped with that. Quantum flow and so many modalities, so many methods that I tapped into. But quantum flow was a major help in that. And so now, once I'm now in this place where I'm like, okay, now I feel I'm ready to do this, and I have completely lived myself, completely lived in the results that I show up with for my clients and all of that, and I have completely lived in my ability to guide, because that was my bigger problem. And then it's kind of like coming to the point of now having to deal with the shame and the guilt of why didn't I do this much sooner? Why did I have to release all those limiting beliefs this year? Why couldn't I have done it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it is? Why did I have to go through that entire journey of distracting myself, procrastination, all of that? And I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and very important reminder from my friend, and that was I did the best I could do last year with the tools that I had and with the knowledge that I had at that point. There's literally not so much you can do to change your past right now. I know energetically there's so many variations to that, because everyone in the spiritual community talks about the present moment being the only moment that counts. And I completely agree with that, because everything you do right now can literally change both your past and actually the future that you're creating. I completely believe in that. And that's a whole concept that I'm not going to get into right now in this live, because it's just so complicated and I might lose you. I don't want to lose you, okay? But it comes a point in time where, as much as you regret the things you did in the past, you cannot go and undo something that you've already done, including in this life right now, right? Anything that I said thus far, I cannot go and undo that. I've already said it. It's already out there. I can't take it back. So for me to sit here and start dwelling on, oh my Lord, I should have started the live like this. I should have said, hey, how, like, that's actually literally just wasting my energy. And I also realize that it's also another form of distraction and self-sabotage from your ego mind. Remember, your ego mind is gonna fight you tooth and nail to keep you stuck in your comfort zone, to keep you, to drag you back to where you used to be. So it's gonna come up with all these scenarios just to distract you from what you're supposed to be doing. And part of it is also igniting those feelings of shame and guilt to keep you there, so that if you're distracted with feeling the shame and the regret and guilt and all of that, then you're not going to be able to take the necessary steps to move forward, right? And this is where a lot of people get stuck. They're not able to let go and forgive themselves for the mistakes and the failures that they made in the past. So they're stuck. They're just constantly thinking about the regrets and regretting, oh my Lord, I should have dialed to this differently. I should have dealt with this person differently. I should have cooled down, woulda, that kind of mentality. And there's literally nothing you can do to change that. So anytime you make a mistake, it's always to go back and look at yourself with enough grace and love and compassion, and just tell yourself, I did the best I could do at that point. But the most important thing that you can tap into after that, it's to learn from your mistake. If you don't learn from your mistake, you're going to keep on repeating the same stuff again and again and again and again until you learn. Okay? So it's always like, once you have that awareness that, whoa, I didn't show up in the best way possible, let me aim to be better. Have you ever gone through a situation where you're arguing with someone and then you end up saying something you shouldn't have done or you shouldn't have said? And then later on, when you're reflecting on it, you're just like, oh my Lord, why did I say that? Right? I've gone through that a couple of times, but you cannot undo. It's already out there. The only thing you can do is that learn from that, and and make a promise to yourself, an intention going forward, that the next time maybe I get angry, I'm gonna walk away. The next time I do this, I'm gonna make sure that I don't say something that I will regret, and implementing those tools going forward. Because maybe that thing happened for you to gather that wisdom so that you can show up better going forward. So the most important thing you can do anytime you make a mistake is just learn your lessons. You can't be perfect all the time. And this is where most people get stuck. And I think also how society has what is it called? Has taught us is that we're not allowed to make mistakes. And that's not okay. And the image that always comes to mind with me is when you're in the classroom and the teacher asks a question and maybe calls on you to give the answer, and then you end up saying the wrong thing. And then it's kind of like the shame and the guilt that comes from that. For why didn't I know the right answer? And maybe people laughing at you. And we have that deeply ingrained in us. So it's always that fear of what if I say the wrong thing? What if I do the wrong thing? I don't want to make that mistake because if I make that mistake, people are going to laugh at me. And I don't like being laughed at. No one likes being laughed at, right? But I think how we were taught by society that only one answer is acceptable, which is not actually the case when you come into the world, right? There's no one path to success. There's no one path to get into the answer. You can take so many different routes and eventually you'll get to the destination. So it's not like one answer, one thing, one path is the only way forward. You can take whatever path you choose as long as you have the destination in mind of where you're going. So we shouldn't dictate on how we're supposed to show up. I can make the mistakes that I want to make, the the mistakes that I want to make. That's completely okay. That's my journey. That's my process. You might be on a different journey. You might be going through a different process, and that's completely okay. But the minute that I make a mistake, I think the one thing that we need to do, first of all, is don't expect the world to give you the grace and compassion that you don't have for yourself. So this is why I come back to yourself and forgiving yourself for those mistakes and having love and compassion for yourself. Because when you start doing that and start seeing yourself as human and not this superhuman that person that we have in our mind that cannot make mistakes, the minute you just allow yourself to just be ordinary and make all the mistakes that you can make, then you can give the same grace, extend the same grace to another person. Because when that person makes the mistake, then now you will see, whoa, you can actually put yourself in that person's shoes and see that I could have been there as well. Thank God, I know better, but I'm going to forgive that person. And I'm going to extend to them the grace and compassion that I wish I could also receive whenever I make mistakes. Another place that I see people getting stuck in is the fact that you might be trying your best to get past who you were in the past, but then the environment around you, the people around you don't let you forget because they still have a memory of who you used to be and what you used to do. So you find that as much as you're trying to progress forward, the people around you will not let you be, will not let you forget. And even though you've become a completely different person, they still want to take you back to who you are. That's another test from the universe, by the way, of are you fully rooted in the new you, or are you still gonna keep on going back to who you used to be? Again, another trick of your ego mind to distract you from what you need to be doing by giving you all this attraction, all these kind of people that will bring you back to who you used to be. And you have to have such awareness and such conviction in yourself and the path forward for you not to keep repeating the same mistakes that you made in the past. So it's okay if people don't want to forget who you used to be, but don't listen to them. That relationship itself, that belief in self, that is so essential. That is what will keep you moving forward, even on those moments where it's like the most challenging time for you. That is what will keep you focused on your destination and not distracted with all this noise from around you. Remember, the only purpose that this noise serves is just to take you back to who you used to be. And that's not what you want. Okay? But that has to come from within you. Don't expect society that, oh, now I'm becoming a different person. Now I expect you guys to accept the new me and forget who I was in the past. That might not be easy for so many people. Remember, everyone is still going through their own process, internal process. So if I haven't tapped into that love, acceptance, and forgiveness for self, I cannot do it for you. But if you're here working on yourself and expecting me to give you that love and compassion that I do not have for myself, you're going to be lost. So it always has to start with you. Love, compassion, forgiveness for self. Aim to learn, intention to learn from any mistakes that you make, and don't get stuck in the shame and guilt. That is where a lot of people are stuck in. And again, another thing that I've also seen that people present with is, it's already too late. Like I've had a decade or 5 years or 8 years of making those mistakes. How can I be different? This is who people know me to be. This is who I am. How can why do I need to apply myself to be a different person? It's too late. I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 60, whatever age you are. It's too late for me to try and be different. Again, another trick of your ego mind. Again, remember, your ego will do everything in its power to drag you back to who you used to be. So you have to have awareness of that. When that happens, tell yourself that no, 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 no. First of all, it does not matter when you get started. The only thing that matters is that you actually get started. So it doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, 60, I don't care. As long as you've gotten that realization and that awareness right now, it's not too late to start changing your life. So don't listen to the trick of your ego mind taking you back to who you used to be. No. As long as you realize that, okay, I can choose a different life right now, I can start being different right now, start taking action towards that. Okay? It's never too late. I always say this. I tell people this that as long as you have breath within you, as long as you're waking up every day, then your mission is not done. Okay? Because trust me, if you have no purpose left or nothing else to do in this lifetime, why on earth will you be here? You will have already transitioned to the other side, right? So if you're still here, you're still waking up daily, there's a reason for that. And maybe the reason is that you haven't done everything that your soul came here to do. So even if you're 70 and it's 70 is when you're starting to realize that, man, I should have lived my life differently, then that's the right point for you to start working on yourself and being better. Not 10 years in the future again, or 10 years in the back, right now. The moment you have that realization, that's the right moment for you. Also, let go of this knowledge of, or this idea of, um, okay, so I spoke about it being too late. The other thing you can tap into is knowing that the right moment, this moment right now is the only moment that counts, right? So if I'm tapping into this right now, the knowledge, the awareness, the wisdom, then this is the moment I was supposed to tap into. Okay. So let go of that idea of shoulda, woulda, coulda, 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years ago, I don't care. Or even 1 month ago or 1 week ago, it does not matter. Right now, if I'm realizing it right now, then this is the moment that I was supposed to realize that. And now, once you realize, make that realization that I can choose differently, I can be better. Now, using all that wisdom gained from all your past experiences, gained from all your past mistakes to guide you on your path forward so that you don't make the same mistakes again. Remember, the only thing that your past is supposed to do is to just serve as a reminder, a reference point of that's what I did. I don't want to be that anymore. This is who I want to be going forward. So just to serve as a reminder of not to repeat the same mistake, but not for you to get stuck in those moments. Okay. It's for you to be like, you know what? I made that mistake. This is now I know better. Now I have the wisdom of what to do and what not to do. Now I can create a better future for myself. Okay. So I think that was it for me today, just to encourage you if that's what you're going through. Don't listen to your ego mind, right? Take this. If you're watching me and you've watched me so far, take this as a sign that maybe it's time to just let go of who you used to be in the past. It's never too late to get started. I don't care if you wasted 10, 15, 20 years doing those mistakes. As long as you realize right now you can choose a better life, then this is the right moment and get started and forging a new path for yourself. Okay. Forgive yourself. Love, compassion, acceptance for yourself always. The relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship before you go to another person. Okay. So I hope this resonates with anyone who's watching this. I think I'm gonna end my life for now. If you're new to my channel and maybe you've never subscribed, do subscribe and support the channel. I like knowing that I'm actually making a difference with all these insights that I do share. I have set the intention that I'm gonna be going live at least twice per week. So we're gonna see how that goes for basically the whole of March. And then I'm going to do a review of if there are things I need to improve, but we'll see. But I'm committing to show up every Sunday, probably at this time, for you and to share my weekly insights and my weekly realization. Remember, like growth and evolution and transformation does not stop. I'm always growing, I'm always evolving day by day. What I might have said 1 month ago is probably not the same things I'll be tapping into right now. And that's completely okay. I'm an evolving being and I'm allowed to make mistakes, which is all I was talking about here. Okay. So make sure that you subscribe, support the channel, and tune in to my live videos. And you never know. I might have a message that you need to hear in that moment, right? Which is all I do with this channel. And again, if you want a chance to work one-on-one with me, where I'm going to be guiding you to really reconnect with yourself and reconnect with your inner guidance and awaken your most authentic version of yourself so that you can show up fully as who you're meant to be in this lifetime and let go of all these mistakes, all this negative karma that you've incurred with all your past choices, right? So if you're ready to awaken a new you, a new and better version of you, and truly, truly heal from the inside, right? So that you can show up better for yourself, for your loved ones moving forward, then do check out my services. I do have the link there for booking a session with me, or you can check out in the description box that I will leave below this video. Connect with me. You can ask any question you have of me on Facebook or Instagram through Messenger, or if you just want to book a discovery call to see if me and you are a right fit and whether my modality will work for you, you can go ahead and book a discovery call. If not, go ahead and book a session with me. And trust me, if you're watching this and you resonate with this, then take it as a sign that maybe the services, the Akashic Records and Quantum Flow might be the right fit for you. Okay. So I'm sending you so much love, and I hope I will see you guys within the week on my next